Like a scene out of a movie, on September 26, 2022, NASA's double asteroid redirection test smashed a spacecraft into an asteroid, changing its trajectory. It was the first time ever that NASA successfully diverted the orbit of an object in space. Subsequently, NASA declared itself as a defender of the planet. But to find out how they did it, you have to go back to when the U.S. Army Signal Corps began exploring the cosmos and the role the moon played in the process. The pairing of ionospheric research in the 1920s and 30s and World War II propelled radar development during the early 20th century. In the U.S., it was the Army Signal Corps that took the lead on radar research. On May 26, 1937, the Signal Corps demonstrated a top-secret early radar system for Secretary of War Harry Woodring and other top military officials at Fort Monmouth in New Jersey. After the primitive system impressed officials by picking up an incoming bomber plane in the dark, the Signal Corps received the funding needed to further develop their radar systems. Projects included a searchlight control and gun-laying detector, a surface vessel detector, a long-range aircraft detector, and trackers for directing pursuit planes. These systems are largely credited for helping the Allies win World War II. The Signal Corps would eventually receive the patent for radar, officially labeled an object locating system. But it wasn't always about the battlefield. Around this time, the Signal Corps was also busy with research on non-combat radar systems. One, in particular, would eventually be of great interest to NASA. Researcher John H. DeWitt Jr. was the director of the Signal Corps Evans Signal Laboratory located near Belmar, New Jersey, and led experiments at the facility. DeWitt had been busy building a radio telescope to search for radio signals found in the Milky Way. In 1945, Major General Harry Ingalls, the chief signal officer of the Signal Corps, commissioned DeWitt to create a radar system that could detect missiles launched from the Soviet Union. DeWitt and the Signal Corps turned their attention to Earth's upper atmosphere and the moon, with the moon acting as an equivalent stand-in for potential incoming missiles. DeWitt led what was dubbed Project Diana, named after the Roman goddess of the moon. The team utilized a crystal-controlled receiver and transmitter created for the Signal Corps by one of the fathers of radio, Howard Armstrong. The system gave them the power and bandwidth needed to send radar signals to the moon. Tests began in September of 1945, and finally, at 11:48 a.m. on January 10th of 1946, the Signal Corps aimed the antenna at the moon and began transmitting. 2.5 seconds later, the radio waves bounced off the surface of the moon and returned to Earth. The test was a success. The Signal Corps would later construct a 50-foot antenna and transmitter dedicated to exploring the Earth's upper atmosphere, allowing them to conduct lunar echo studies and track future Apollo spacecraft launches. Flash forward to today, where radar is used to explore different planets, like the Mars rover subsurface exploration, and to target potential threats to our planet. The Signal Corps has been essential to the development of radar and space exploration. For more information about the U.S. Army Signal Corps, visit GordonHistoricalMuseum.org.